And then there's all this other stuff that all sounds terrible. Sometimes these chemicals sound really scary, but maybe they're more benign, Um, fish and animals dead, people all sick, nothing will be done. Yeah. It's very true. And like how many of these, like how much of this is in the ground? Miss Kiwi, thank you for joining us. Uncommon. Yeah, we're afraid of it exploding, so we're gonna burn it. Oh, she gave your mom some blueberry cobbler. Nice. Yeah, golly, it just seems kind of scary, right? It's like the 15th of...
Bring y'all a little update on what's going on with them.
Of February, and all this crazy stuff is happening. Yeah, it's like it's hard to know exactly what's going on, but then there's this article. I don't know how much new stuff was really brought up in it. Oh, excuse me. Kyla, I am. Thank you for joining as a member. There's a lot of stuff in here about like that we already knew. But what was perhaps the most interesting part of this article was like, the messages, the direct messages or text messages that were sent back and forth between Tim's executive editor or whatever and the person that wrote this article. Raw news alert. Okay, I'll check it out. Steven, thank you for gifting a sub. Armando says, first multiple balloons show up, then the multiple derailments. Chemical leaks. Coincidence? I think not. It sure doesn't feel like it. Nylan Heineck, thank you for joining as a sponsor. Let me pull this up. Raw news alerts. People are asking about the members' content on YouTube. Will you post it on locals for those members as well? Yes, I posted to locals and to subscribe star. Ford Mustang, thanks for uncommon. Raw news alerts. I have that. I follow them. They're there. A lot of this is, people are saying, oh, it's because, we have, garbage people working for the rails. Well, maybe. Jack's a member for 3 months. Your mom was cooking so bad, the homeless gave it back. Oh. Simulant for 5, stock up on ammo, buddy. Okay. Breaking. Shelter in place has been issued due to hazardous toxic chemicals leaking. Currently, authorities have issued a hazmat alert and shelter in place warning in effect for all individuals within a mile radius of Tucson, Arizona, after a truck carrying hazardous materials overturns on the I-10 highway. Oh, it's not a train. Look at this. What is that? It feels like we're under attack, doesn't it? It just feels like that. Police scanners are reporting the toxic chemical that is currently leaking is nitric acid, which is extremely toxic if you get in contact with it. New footage of the truck carrying nitric acid, a hazardous material, overturned on I-10 in Tucson. Arizona people warned to shelter in place for yellow smoke can be seen for a half a mile. Police have just said that the truck was carrying about 2,000 pounds of the toxic chemical nitric acid. I mean, it's like, what the hell? Very odd. And, like, where's Pete Buttigieg? Arthmesia says, did you see DeFango apparently has reached an agreement with Tim? I guess we'll see what happens. I did not. I mean, it's weird because sometimes Avery says, I feel like I'm about to get called back. Oh, yeah, it could be. Now it says, I'm in Wisconsin, I'm moving to Minnesota not in 9 days. Pray for my safe return to America's Dairyland. Good luck to you, soldier. Voice to the people, that's just a few barrels of nitric acid. I don't think it's near water. Whereas few barrels, 2,000 pounds is a lot more than a few barrels. I don't think it's near water, so it's not as bad as Ohio, but the smoke can hurt or kill if exposed in little to moderate quantities. Parody Bear says, it doesn't feel like an attack. UN-2030 planned it all along, and our government is helping. Or UN, not UN. Yeah, it's wild watching all this stuff like kind of unfold. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. This particular article that I was going to bring up. Oh, geez, Chris, thank you. Hard not to feel this coupled with the power plant attacks, poultry plant fires, mass unrest. Almost seems too well timed with all the right people with government authority nowhere to be found. Just extremely odd all around. Yeah, and by the way, thank you very much. That's very kind. Stuart Lunsford, brown/red gas is usually NO2. That's cancer plus toxic. Voice of the people, 55-gallon drums will weigh 500 pounds. Okay, I guess you're probably right. Maybe it's a half dozen or something. Most people are unaware of how much and how many chemicals are around them on the highway or on the rail at all times. Yeah, well, more people now, probably. Lee Kessenberry, hey, Jeremy, you're my first and only subscription on YouTube. Overall, you're doing a good job bringing us this stuff. Thank you. Hey, if people are heading out in a few minutes to watch some other show, remember, chat is free here, and that we are 43 new members away from today's new goal, which would also release a new members-only video. So if you're thinking about joining as a member, I'm doing kind of a drive for it this week, and I would greatly appreciate that. Plus, you know, you get a free super chat with it, you get priority in chat, all that kind of stuff too. Glenn Quagg says, unfortunately, you might have to turn on members-only chat on community notes for a few weeks to avoid the Sydney Blue spamming. No, I mean, people are allowed to say what they want to say, you know. Armando Morales says, Houston, Texas has an ammonia leak at 99 Ranch Distribution Center this past week as well. Jeez. Constitutional Solutions gifted a sub. Thank you so much. Or gifted a membership. I'm sorry. The air is free here. Very free. So in this particular article, I guess this gentleman called DeFango had basically said, okay, well, it's time, you know, I'm going to sue you because you essentially accused me of doing all this heinous stuff. Remember that part of part 3 of the article? You know, part 3 of the article where he went on this like bizarre aside about like, I don't know what it was, like the gang stalker and parking vans outside of people's houses and all this stuff. And I was like, what the hell?
Is a part of Black Lives Matter, and he's one of the big heads of Black Lives Matter New York. There are a lot of people that don't like him. There are a lot of people that don't agree with certain ways that he moves and certain things that he says or whatever. But I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about the part that he's playing in helping these black farmers in Colorado. So I want you to listen to this because this is coming straight from him. And as they say, is the EP, the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club is playing a big part in helping with the security and all of that as well at the farm. And it says, Hog Not Playing, look at that protection, proud of the black community for helping this black.
United States citizen originally from Ecuador living in South Florida. And last but not least, we have Frederick Bergman, Jr., a U.S. citizen living in Tampa. Agents arrested the four men on criminal complaints filed by my office that were unsealed today. This brings the number of defendants charged in the United States with roles in the assassination to 11. The second development we announced today is that just a couple of hours ago, a South Florida grand jury returned a third superseding indictment in this matter. We have one case, one indictment charging the 11 defendants for their individual roles in the plot. At this time, I will invite Assistant Attorney General Olson to the podium. After Matt Olson completes his remarks, I will speak more specifically about the charges, the defendants, and the overall prosecution. Assistant Attorney General Olson, please.
Thank you very much, Mark, and good afternoon, everyone. I am Matt Olson. I'm the Assistant Attorney General for National Security at the Department of Justice. This morning, as you've heard, 4 individuals were arrested here in Florida based on federal charges for their alleged roles in a plot to assassinate the former Haitian president. In the early morning hours of July 7th, 2021, President Jovenel Moïse was shot and killed in his home in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. His wife, the First Lady, was shot multiple times and fortunately survived. This was both a human tragedy and an assault on core democratic principles. The impact on Haiti and its people continues to be felt to this day. Among the charges and arrests being announced today are those arising under U.S. laws that prohibit conspiracies to kill or kidnap persons abroad and providing material support to such efforts. This assassination was carried out in Port-au-Prince, but as alleged in the complaint, aspects of this deadly plot were advanced inside the United States by co-conspirators and facilitators located here. That includes the 4 individuals arrested earlier this morning. And in total, as you've heard, 11 defendants have now been charged and are in U.S. custody. Among those arrested are, as part of this wide-ranging law enforcement investigation, are U.S., Haitian, and Colombian nationals, as well as dual U.S. Haitian citizens. Their actions violated U.S. law, and now they face U.S. justice. Let me be very clear. The United States will not tolerate those who would plot from our soil to carry out acts of violence abroad, just as we will not tolerate those outside the U.S. who would plot to conduct violence in this country. This commitment is an obligation of responsible members of the international community, and it goes to the core of defending democracy and upholding the rule of law. To those who would use violence to upend democratic processes, whether motivated by greed, ideology, or political ambition, today's charges should send a very clear message that the United States will use the full measure of our laws to hold you accountable wherever you may be. In addition to the 9 defendants charged with conspiring to kill and kidnap overseas, 2 defendants are charged with violations of U.S. export control laws for allegedly transferring bulletproof vests that they falsely claimed were medical supplies from the United States to Haiti to be used by the assault force that ultimately killed President Moïse. The National Security Division, which I lead, is responsible for enforcing these statutes, and it has worked on this investigation together with the prosecutors here in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Miami, as well as our federal law enforcement partners. And the allegations in today's court filings detail this violent and brazen plot. According to the complaint, 3 of the defendants arrested today operated businesses here in South Florida and hope to reap windfall benefits from security and construction contracts to be granted by those who they believed would assume power in Haiti following President Moïse's demise, using coded terms like screws, nails, and tools to refer to weapons and ammunition. Communications between co-conspirators reveal a calculated plan that was intended to encourage civil unrest as a cover for the assassin's entry into the president's residence to carry out a hit that resulted in his death. A central tenet of every democracy in the world is that those who want to change their government must do so peacefully, through ballots, not bullets. These defendants thought they could secure Haitian immunity for their crime, and we will now deliver justice in a U.S. courtroom. I'd like to thank U.S. Attorney LaPointe and his office and congratulate him and his team as he begins his service to the people of the Southern District of Florida. And I would also like to recognize and thank the dedicated agents of the FBI and HSI, as well as the prosecutors here in the Southern District of Florida and in the National Security Division, who all worked tirelessly on this investigation and prosecution. Thank you.
Matt, thank you very much, Matt. If you're from this neck of the woods, you know that Haiti is no stranger to hardship and suffering. Both in its early and modern history, Haiti has experienced devastating earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, epidemics, economic hardship, and instability. While most human beings would consider events that destroy hundreds of thousands of lives, homes, schools, and infrastructure as tragedies, there are others who consider them as opportunities. It appears that money and power, with an emphasis on money, were the opportunities that fueled the plot to overthrow Haitian President Jovenel Moïse. As the recently returned indictment and underlying complaints allege, while the murder of President Moïse occurred in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, much of the planning, funding, and direction of the plot to violently overthrow the president occurred right here in the United States, in the Southern District of Florida, beginning in early 2021. You'll have the charging documents available to you, but I would like to give you an overview of the defendants, the alleged events, and the charges connecting these defendants to this murder. I want you to think about it in terms of three groups. There were the planners and financiers, or financier, in South Florida. And then you also had operators with boots on the ground in Haiti. And there was a third group. Those were the hired soldiers from Colombia who traveled to Haiti to carry out the coup. Let's talk a little bit about the planners, organizers, and financiers in South Florida. We allege that the South Florida planners and organizers were defendants, the following defendants: Arcangel Pretel Ortiz and Antonio Entriago, who were principals of a South Florida-based company, the so-called Counter-Terrorist Unit Federal Academy and Counter Unit Security, or as we collectively refer to the companies in the charging documents, CTU. They were the planners. Now, there are also the financiers, the people who actually funded this. There was a gentleman by the name of, a defendant by the name of Walter Ventimilla, who owned a different company called Worldwide. This is a South Florida-based company. And there's another fellow, another defendant, called Frederick Bergman in Tampa. He too was part of the financing arm of this murderous operation. Let's talk a little bit about the operators with boots on the ground in Haiti. The alleged boots on the ground in Haiti included a fellow by the name of James Solage. He's a defendant, Haitian American, who represented CTU. Think of it this way: CTU, you had basically Entriago and Ortiz. Those were the owners of CTU, the company, the South Florida-based company that was actually organizing this. But they needed someone in Haiti, right? Because they were not themselves going to be operating things down there. James Solage is a Haitian American that was going to be down in Haiti, who represented CTU's interests and CTU's presence down on the ground in Haiti. There's another fellow, Christian Sanon. He's a Haitian American who was the co-conspirators' initial choice to replace President Moïse once they deposed him. Obviously, everyone sees himself as president, and that fellow saw himself as future president of Haiti. There is also Haitian citizen Joseph Joel Jones, who was a former senator in Haiti. There's a Haitian American, James Vincent, and finally a Haitian national Rodolphe Jar, G-A-A-R, rather J-A-A-R. It is alleged that, among other things, Jar, he secured weapons, and Sanon, Solage, and John helped secure support for the cause. And Vincent helped facilitate things on the ground. As you can imagine, for an operation of that nature, you're going to need a place to stay, you're going to need lodging, and that sort of thing. Now, we get now to the part about the hired soldiers from Colombia who went to Haiti to carry out the coup. It is alleged that the Colombian nationals German Rivera Garcia and Mario Palacios were two of the hired soldiers who traveled to Haiti to carry out the plot. Coup d'etat discussions began in early 2021, and in April 2021, Ortiz, Entriago, John, Solage, and Sanon met in South Florida. So keep that in mind, folks. These folks were meeting right here in South Florida and agreed to a plan where Ortiz and Entriago, through CTU, that's the company, South Florida-based company, would support ousting Haitian President Moïse and replacing him with Sanon, the fellow who wanted to be president. In exchange, once Sanon became president, the deal went, he would award lucrative contracts to CTU for infrastructure projects in Haiti, the provision of security forces, and the provision of military-type equipment to a Sanon-led Haitian government. It is alleged that in late April 2021, Ventimiglia and his company Worldwide, remember now CTU was one company and Worldwide was the other company, agreed to help finance the coup d'etat. So Worldwide now extended a $175,000 line of credit to CTU and sending money to co-conspirators in Haiti to purchase ammunition, among others. Ventimiglia expected to reap significant financial benefits through Worldwide should, in fact, President Moïse be replaced as president, as did Ortiz and Entriago through CTU. So keep in your mind, basically, CTU and Worldwide, those are the two corporate entities, the two companies behind this. Further planning and spending continued in South Florida from April to June 2021. It is alleged, for example, that Ortiz and Entriago, again, CTU's sort of alter ego, if you will, retained a group of about 20 Colombian nationals with military training to provide security to Sanon.
Okay, so we just wanted to listen to FBI officials today. There in South Florida announced that 4 more individuals have been arrested in connection with the assassination of the Haitian president back in summer of 2021. These 4 individuals were arrested on U.S. soil. So we're going to stay on top of that story. I'm Andrew Kraft. Thanks so much for being with us. We're a little bit after the 6 o'clock hour. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, let's talk about raw politics. So many others announcing that they're either not seeking re-election for another term or that they are jumping in the ring for the presidential contest. We'll have more on that in 2 minutes. Welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. Live Now looked there at the White House. The 2024 presidential primary contest added one more contender today. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, she was former UN ambassador during the Trump years, announcing that she's going to vie to be the GOP nominee come 2024. Now, remember, the only other person to have jumped into the race was former President Donald Trump. So if you haven't seen this already, this was Nikki Haley's launch video of her campaign. Let's watch.
Railroad tracks divided the town by race. I was the proud daughter of Indian immigrants. Not black, not white. I was different. But my mom would always say your job is not to focus on the differences, but the similarities. And my parents reminded me and my siblings every day how blessed we were to live in America. Some look at our past as evidence that America's founding principles are bad. They say the promise of freedom is just made up. Some think our ideas are not just wrong, but racist and evil. Nothing could be further from the truth. I have seen evil. In China, they commit genocide. In Iran, they murder their own people for challenging the government. And when a woman tells you about watching soldiers throw her baby into a fire, it puts things in perspective. Even on our worst day, we are blessed to live in America. I was born and raised in South Carolina, so I have seen the very best of our country. People here threw out the old, tired political establishment and demanded accountability for their tax dollars. Industry reports called us the beast of the Southeast, which I loved. People came by the thousands for fresh starts. Moms and dads held their heads up high. Children learned that it was always
It's a great day in South Carolina. It's a great day.
a great day. A great day. A great day in South Carolina. We were strong. We were proud. And when evil did come,
Police in South Carolina are looking for a gunman following a shooting at a church in
Several
downtown
victims.
Charlotte.
We don't know the severity.
we turned away from fear, toward God, and the values that still make our country the freest and greatest in the world. We must turn in that direction again. Republicans have lost the popular vote in 7
It's so
out of the
cold.
last 8 presidential elections. That has to change. Joe Biden's record is abysmal, but that shouldn't come as a surprise. The Washington establishment has failed us over and over and over again. It's time for a new generation. Our country, our pride, and our purpose. Some people look at America and see vulnerability. The socialist left sees an opportunity to rewrite history. China and Russia are on the march. They all think we can be bullied, kicked around. You should know this about me. I don't put up with bullies. And when you kick back, it hurts them more if you're wearing heels. I'm Nikki Haley, and I'm running for president.
Did you see the shelter-in-place hazmat leak happening in Arizona? Yeah, we covered it. You must just be tuning in. I covered it a few minutes ago. Tenzin Kano says, or thank you for joining as a member. None of these people in our government know a damn thing about what they're supposed to be covering or what they're in charge of. And it's like, Americans are like, why is gas prices so much? Why is our what did that weirdo luggage stealing bald headed dude, what was he? Why is our waste system not right? Oh, did you see the guy who's like in charge of nuclear waste? Some guy that dresses up like a dog and steals luggage? That's who's in charge of it. That's who's appointed. But they get to tweet about, oh, it's the first trans whatever dog person ever in the government. Like and retweet. Great. We have a total psychopath in charge of something important. Woodchuck, why would it I don't even understand it. It's don't be lame. Brett Weidman, thanks for becoming a sponsor. Like, I'm not gonna do this for 5 fucking months. People coming in here and want to just be like, women bad. I don't like Sydney, so Jeremy, you're gonna have to hear it. I've addressed it. I hope she gets every penny from Blaze. I hope they have to shut down. Is there any question about where I stand? Brandon Logan, master was your mouth. Thanks, Brandon. Yeah, we can't even stop how many balloons floating over our heads. Vizgo says nitric acid is used in production of potassium nitrate, an additive and cooling agent for salted meats or manufacturing process of preserved foods. Oh, fun fact. Is there anything new about James O'Keefe? I asked about that earlier today, and I've been following all the threads. Is there anything new? Let me check. The last thing I heard was, oh, he's going to get fired, and then nothing happened. Right? She's not going after conservative media. She's going after a boss, an environment in which she worked. This isn't about an attack on conservative media. Come on. You guys are smarter than this. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything about James O'Keefe. Nothing new. I don't really see. I'm looking. I don't see anything.
For over 120 years.
Looking. Yeah, I don't really see anything. I don't see anything.
Impacts. Gusty winds could blow around unsecured objects. Limbs could be blown down and a few power outages may result. Use extra caution when driving, especially if operating a high-profile vehicle. Secure outdoor objects. In Nashville at 7 p.m. Mostly cloudy, the temperature was 67 degrees, dew point was 35, and the relative humidity was 30%.
Welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. Well, plumes of smoke, questions about dead animals, worries about the drinking water, a train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, and subsequent burning of some of those toxic chemicals that spewed after this derailment has people asking how worried should they be? Well, it's been more than a week now since about 50 cars of a freight train derailed in a fiery, mangled mess on the outskirts of East Palestine. This is near the Pennsylvania state line, apparently because of a mechanical issue with a rail car axle. No one was injured in that wreck, but concerns about air quality and the hazardous chemicals on board the train prompted some village residents to leave, and officials later ordered the evacuation of the immediate area as fears grew about a potential explosion of smoldering wreckage. Officials seeking to avoid the danger of an uncontrolled blast. Remember, they chose to intentionally release and burn toxic vinyl chloride from 5 rail cars, sending flames and black smoke again billowing high into the sky. We caught that as it happened last week. Take a look at some of this video. Okay, that was the scene. Now, some, though, in the days since are concerned, and questions have only abounded, amplified in part by some misinformation spreading online. So now you're going to listen into, we showed this to you live earlier today, Ohio officials, including Republican Governor Mike DeWine, and some of his state officials who head up some of the environmental offices there in his state, assuring residents that both the water they drink there from the Ohio River and the air they breathe are safe. Let's listen in.
I know there's still questions about what is going on in East Palestine. We've tried throughout this to continue to inform the public, everyone, but most particularly the people who are directly affected. So today I brought many members of our team together to talk about the current monitoring that is that's underway, and to really answer any outstanding questions that may still be out there. Today I have experts from the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, the Ohio Department of Health, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, the Ohio Department of Agriculture, Ohio Department of Public Safety, the Ohio Emergency Management Agency, the Ohio Department of Transportation, and the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio. They are all in the room with me today. Let me go back to February 3rd, 8:55 p.m. when the train wreck occurred. While traveling through East Palestine on Friday night, February 3rd, a Norfolk Southern train derailed, causing a massive fire. Around 50 railroad cars were impacted by the crash, including 10 that were hauling hazardous materials. In addition to the fire, there was also serious environmental concerns. The U.S. EPA and the Ohio EPA worked to slow the flow of contaminated water, while firefighters worked to extinguish the blaze. By that Sunday, 2 days later, concerns began to arise in regard to the temperature in one of the cars. I was on a conference call that night around 7:30 when that information was first given to me. Based on the conversations that I was hearing and information, it was clear that more assistance was needed in East Palestine, and so I activated the Ohio National Guard to go there, which they did very, very quickly. I was also informed on that call about the car where the temperature was described as very volatile, and at that moment was in fact rising. The fear was that this car might explode, sending deadly shrapnel in all directions. The next morning, I traveled to East Palestine. I met with those on the ground, those who had been working, those who represented the railroad, as well as the federal government. It was clear at that point that we were faced with two bad options. One option was to do nothing and wait for the car to explode. I had a discussion with the representatives of the railroad, an extended discussion. I brought Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro in that through my cell phone, and we went back and forth for a couple hours, trying to just weigh the risk, one versus the other. The risk of the car exploding was described to me as high, high probability that it could explode. And when I pressed everyone to give me the information about, and also give Governor Shapiro the information, because he was on the cell phone listening and asking questions, it came back that the concern was that this would be a catastrophic, what was described as a catastrophic explosion of the car, which would result in shrapnel going out up to close to a mile. We also looked at what the danger was from a controlled release, which is what the railroad felt should be done. Again, Governor Shapiro and I spent considerable time, up to about 2 hours, as I recall, asking a lot of questions about how that would take place. We had the benefit of the Ohio National Guard that had done a modeling exercise. They did that in conjunction with the U.S. Defense Department, who gave them some additional information and help in regard to the modeling. The modeling was then produced into a map I believe that we showed everyone that day when we had our press conference. There was a red area that they described as the likelihood of death within that red area would be very high. There was an area outside that, the yellow area, where they also described it would be very dangerous to be there, but not quite as dangerous as it was within the red area. We then made the decision to go ahead with the second option, which was the controlled release. As that was being prepared to be done, we sent back law enforcement into those zones, the red zone and the yellow zone, for the third time to literally knock on doors. And they described how they did it to me. They did it in very loud.
Yeah, sorry about the sound, dude. It's really windy today. Plus, I'm just using my phone right now. My mic has a little bit of wind protection, but I do need to get a sock for my mic, or the dead cat. There you go, dude. That was the update. Whew. I think that's pretty much gonna be it, dude. That's about everything that went on here. Guys in custody. Thank God there was no shootout or anything like that. He gave himself up. I don't know who those women were out there. They knew him. I don't know if they were his family, his friends. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to turn on Pacific Scanner real quick. But you can see in that parking lot the amount of officers that are here, dude. Imagine how much it costs, dude, the bill with the helicopters, traffic, overtime, the whole SWAT team here, dude. There's probably like U.S. Marshals. Well, they said he was wanted for a warrant, so they knew him. I feel like the marshals, they didn't want to say nothing, but I feel like the marshals were on him. ABC said he was, I think they said he was wanted for a connection.
Yes, Southbound Overland and Venice, southbound Overland, dark color SUV, hazard lights on.
To a murder, you know, homicide.
1406.
It's a beautiful day. Maybe we can get a ride along in the Bearcat. Go ahead, Mr. Bearcat.
Pacific units, possible shooting has occurred 17 Brooks Avenue, 17 Brooks Avenue in the back alley. Vehicles are orange Fiat 500X. Unknown suspect possibly fired 2 gunshots at vehicle approximately 5 minutes ago. No suspect seen. It's code 3 incident 3585 and RD 1412.
17 Brooks. Alright, we're gonna go pass by there, dude. 17 Brooks. Possible shooting. 5 minutes though, so probably not. Down to Brooks. Cause ain't no such things as halfway crooks. Scared of death and scared of look, they shook. Dude, imagine if there's another shooter. 17 Brooks, so that's right by the beach. Brooks at the beach. We're gonna go check out the beach right now, dude. You guys want to play the Beach Boys soundtrack in the back?
14 at the 11, 3585, expired 8 copies, additional copies. Covert and 14 at the 11 from sending in Woodward. 5 units code 4.
I just discovered the Beach Boys monument
Code 4, 2199
in Hawthorne a few weeks ago that I didn't know existed. I guess the Beach Boys grew up in Hawthorne, and the 105 paved over their house where they grew up in, or some of them grew up in. And there's a monument in the neighborhood. It looks like a barbecue, like a backyard barbecue pit or something. Not a pit, but like, you know where you put like an outdoor kitchen? It's pretty big. It's right by the Hawthorne Airport, 105. Let's go surfing now. Everybody learning how.
Code 12. Code 12, 2477 Willa. 11, code 6 in the area. 11, code 6 in the area, 17 Brooks.
Steve's going to help me out here. So the initial water impact was at Sulphur Run. Are we able to? Can you find that on there, or do we need to use the map in your hand?
So it would be up here.
So above this map, but we have a smaller map here. The initial impact was at Sulphur Run, leading down into Leslie Run to Bull Creek, and then a portion of the North Fork of Beaver Creek. Right. So we essentially, for our purposes, we looked at 4 different waterways over a space of about 7.5 miles, and what the environmental impacts were on those streams and tributaries.
So I mentioned, Director, what's beyond that as we move towards the Ohio River?
So the North Fork of Beaver Creek leads into Beaver Creek, which I'm lost. I mean, we eventually get down there.
To the Ohio River. So
yeah, Beaver Creek does go directly into the Ohio River. Yeah, go for it.
So the North Fork of Beaver Creek goes into the main stem of Little Beaver Creek, which is a state scenic river, and then that flows into the Ohio River.
So that's the essential geography we were looking at for this. And, the Department of Natural Resources, part of our mission is to preserve and improve Ohio's biodiversity. So our concern in this case was what was happening with the aquatic wildlife. And what we have discovered through the testing and sampling that's been done is that very early on, we have estimated, based on our sampling and modeling, about 3,500 dead fish across that space, across those streams, tributaries, waterways, 12 different species. The good news is that none of those species are threatened or endangered, but that is still a loss of wildlife, so of concern, especially when we reach the Beaver Creek, this state wild and scenic river, where we are especially protective of what we have there. So some of the species, creek chub, mottled sculpin, stone roller, I think we have some pictures somewhere of what those are, but 12 different species, none threatened or endangered, but still a loss of life all the same. The one species we will be looking for, we have no evidence yet that any have died, but this is really an area of focus for hellbenders, which are federal and state endangered. And so we will be doing some monitoring in the months to come to see if any of them did die in the initial release into the waterways. So good news, there doesn't appear to be any increase in the fish or aquatic creatures killed since the first couple days of the derailment. So wildlife officers have been there every day on the scene, working with contractors who are in the water, doing the net sampling, making the estimates, and we will continue to monitor and watch what's going on and eventually hold those responsible accountable for the loss of wildlife in the area. We don't have any evidence of non-aquatic species suffering from the derailment. Haven't had any concerns about that, not only here, but we also communicate with the Pennsylvania Game Commission as well, and they haven't heard about that either. So that is essentially where we are with the Department of Natural Resources, and I think the Governor.
Director, thank you. Thank you very much. She'll be available for questions. Let me invite now Tiffany Kavalak from the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency to come to the microphone. We have on the screen from East Palestine, Kurt Kohler. Kurt, you may remember at our previous 2 press conferences was available and discussed what the situation was. We're asking them to tell us the very latest measurements coming from the site.
Thank you, Governor. Hello, I'm Tiffany Kavalak. I'm the Chief of the Division of Surface Water at Ohio EPA. And speaking of the derailment on February 3rd, we speak that it occurred at the location of Sulphur Run. and Norfolk and Southern are actively aerating Sulphur Run and have containment within the 1.3 miles that Sulphur Run leads into Leslie Run. Sulphur Run remains contaminated, but we're confident that it is contained. Data from February 4th, the day after the train derailment, down gradient on Leslie Run and Norfolk Little Beaver Creek showed very low detection levels of contaminants and mostly from fire residual chemicals. Data from February 10th, more recently, showed low levels of only 2 contaminants, butyl acrylate and ethyl hexyl acrylate. Both are volatile organic chemicals in Leslie Run, the one that's directly below Sulphur Run. The butyl acrylate dissipates to non-detectable levels once it gets to the North Fork of the Little Beaver Creek, and the other one, ethyl hexyl acrylate, dissipates to non-detectable levels once we get to Little Beaver Creek. We have not detected any vinyl chloride in any of the down gradient waterways. Both the February 4th and the February 10th data are available now on Ohio EPA's website that's titled East Palestine's Train Derailment. The spill did flow to the Ohio River during that initial slug, but the Ohio River is very large, and it's a water body that's able to dilute the pollutants pretty quickly. Ohio EPA and other state agencies have been working with the Ohio River Valley Water Sanitation Commission, some may know as ORSANCO, to track the contaminant plume in real time. It's moving at about a mile an hour. ORSANCO's tracking allows for potential closing of drinking water intakes to allow the majority of the chemicals to pass. This strategy, along with drinking water treatment like oxidation and advanced treatment like activated carbon, are both effective at addressing these contaminants and helps ensure the safety of the drinking water supplies. So we're pretty confident that these low levels are not getting passed on to the customers. Would you like me to pass it to Kurt?
Let me ask you one question.
Yes.
You might explain. You talked about the containment. What steps were taken to contain it in that initial spill area?
Yes, and I think that's why we have. I think Kurt
okay,
can.
Kurt, do that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Kurt, you want to answer that, Kurt, and then you can kind of give us a report from East Palestine. Kurt, thank you. Stay on there in case we get questions. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate the work you're doing. Let me now introduce Dr. Bruce Vanderhoff, the director of the Ohio Department of Health. He's going to talk about exactly where
Okay, and we are going to step away from that event here on Live Now from Fox. Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday. I'm Lexi Petrovich. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have a live report from East Lansing following that deadly mass shooting at Michigan State University yesterday evening. We'll have that in just 2 minutes.
Yeah, as the chat says, guys, as the title says, violence.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Lexi Petrovich. Thanks for being with us. Many of you were State University's campus, and last night we were bringing you wall-to-wall coverage with our team at Fox 2 Detroit as we covered everything that was happening, all of the latest updates. We want to pull up this tweet here right now from Michigan State University Police and Public Safety, the most recent tweet that they've now put out saying, property update, we are beginning our coordinated effort with FBI Detroit to reunite members of our community with property that may have been left behind at Berkey Hall and the MSU Union. As we continue to learn more into their investigation, police are still searching for a motive after a shooter opened fire on college kids in Michigan. And of course, tonight we now know that 3 students were killed and 5 others injured as police are continuing this investigation. We want to go out now to Fox's Stephen Goen, who's live in East Lansing, Michigan tonight. Steve, is there any update from police?
Police say they are working hard to understand what unfolded here last night, but there are new questions about the additional attacks this gunman allegedly had planned at different schools in different states. Few answers tonight in the investigation of a mass shooting at Michigan State.
We must act, and we will. But today, let's hold the MSU and East Lansing communities close.
Police say a gunman came to the East Lansing campus on Monday night and killed 3 students, injuring others before he shot and killed himself. Police have recovered a weapon, but they still don't know what led to the suspect's actions.
That's an unknown right now, and that's what we're trying to understand is why this incident occurred.
The first calls of shots fired came in around 8:30 p.m. Monday, which prompted a campus-wide lockdown, students screaming as they ran to find a place to hide.
Oh my God.
Police say the gunman, 43-year-old Anthony McCrae, first went to an academic building where he killed 2 students. Then he went to the MSU Student Union where he shot and killed a 3rd. Later, with the suspect on the run, police released these images. Then, around 11:35 p.m., someone called in a tip that led police to McCray's location, a home in Lansing, where he shot himself and died. Police say the suspect had no connection to the university.
43-year-old suspect had no affiliation to the university. He was not a student, faculty, staff, current or previous.
Late today, police revealing McCray was found with a note in his pocket threatening to shoot up 2 schools in New Jersey. Monday's events come less than a year and a half after a high school shooting in nearby Oxford, Michigan, where a 15-year-old student shot and killed 4 classmates.
And I am filled with rage that we have to have another press conference to talk about our children being killed in their schools. If this is not a wake-up call to do something, I don't know what is.
Now, police say 5 students shot and injured are still in critical condition tonight. This school will be on a modified schedule for the next couple days, then classes are canceled until Monday. That's going to give students here the opportunity to take advantage of some of the mental health resources that have been provided as they now try to understand what happened last night. Lexi?
And Stephen, is there any update as to when we might hear from police again or hospital representatives on the condition of those other 5 students, as well as any other updates in this investigation?
Relating to the students who are currently in the hospital, I'm not aware of any updates that are coming for them. As of this morning, we heard they are in critical condition. 4 out of the 5 actually required surgery. As for just the rest of this investigation, also, we're not quite sure when police could be updating us on that. We will work to find out that information for you.
Okay, Fox's Stephen Goen live in East Lansing, Michigan tonight. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, and some visuals here of the crime scene yesterday evening. Continuing to follow this devastating story, another mass shooting in Michigan. We talked about it last night, and as Stephen touched on in his story as well, some of these students went to Oxford, were from Oxford, Michigan, dealt with a mass shooting there. Now our students at Michigan State University, we saw some students that were in some of the video footage that we were getting here from last night with Oxford Strong sweatshirts on. So just devastating to hear about some of these students who have been through now multiple mass shootings in their lifetime at just such a young age. So we will continue to follow this. We're also going to be getting an update from Michigan State Police this evening. We'll have a member of Michigan State Police joining us on the show here at the top of the hour. What we want to do right now, though, is take you out to where Governor Gretchen Whitmer, governor of Michigan, spoke earlier today on the latest with this shooting. We want to bring you back here now on Live Now with Fox.
All of our local agencies, first responders, local departments, and officers as far away as Oakland County for their efforts last night. I also want to thank the incredible medical professionals at Sparrow who are working hard to care for those injured, as well as all the community members that shared tips so that our law enforcement could act. We mourn the loss of beautiful souls today and pray for those who are continuing to fight for their lives. Every Spartan student, parent, and staff member should know that Michiganders and Americans everywhere are thinking of you today. President Biden and I spoke last night. He pledged his support and the thoughts of an entire nation, and we will work together to do what is necessary to help MSU community heal. We're all broken by an all too familiar feeling. Another place that is supposed to be about community and togetherness, shattered by bullets and bloodshed. We know this is a uniquely American problem. Today is the 5th anniversary of the Parkland shooting. We're mere weeks past the Lunar New Year shooting at a dance hall, and a few months past a shooting at an elementary school in Uvalde. And looking back at a year marked by shootings at grocery stores, parades, and so many other ordinary, everyday situations, we cannot keep living like this. Our children are scared to go to school. People feel unsafe in their houses of worship or local stores. Too many of us scan rooms for exits when we enter them. And many of us have gone through the grim exercise of figuring out who our last call would be to. Last night, a lot of kids on this campus made those calls. They worried for their lives and for their friends, for their fellow Spartans. Parents across Michigan were on pins and needles, calling their kids to tell them that they love them. As parents, we tell our kids, it's going to be okay. We say that all the time. But the truth is, words are not good enough. We must act, and we will. But today, let's hold the MSU and East Lansing communities close. And let's think of the families and friends of those who have lost, those fighting for their lives, and the countless Michiganders whose lives are forever changed by yesterday's shooting. We will get through this together, and we will do it with the full support of the state of Michigan and the U.S. federal government. And with that, I would like to hand this over to our Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin.
Thanks, Governor. I want to echo what the governor said about the response of law enforcement. Those of you who might have been listening on the scanner, you heard how deeply complex this operation was yesterday, with young people calling in tips constantly, with an unbelievably difficult area of environment to navigate. Law enforcement did an incredible job. We had hundreds respond from across the state. And I think it's a testament to those who hold the thin blue line for us, the ones that hesitate or do not hesitate when we need them. And I think we should recognize how desperately needed they were last night in our society in general. I want to thank the doctors and nurses and staff at Sparrow Hospital. They were on it. No one wants to live through a mass shooting like this, but they were prepared and they handled it with grace and humanity. As the representative of Oxford, Michigan, I cannot believe that I am here again doing this 15 months later. And I am filled with rage that we have to have another press conference to talk about our children being killed in their schools. And I would say that you either care about protecting kids or you don't. You either care about having an open, honest conversation about what is going on in our society or you don't. But please don't tell me you care about the safety of children if you're not willing to have a conversation about keeping them safe in a place that should be a sanctuary. Now, the Spartan community is incredibly connected and proud. We've already seen people come together. But for me, the most haunting picture of last night was watching the cameras pan through the crowds and seeing a young person wearing an Oxford Strong sweatshirt. The sweatshirts that were handed out after those kids lived through a school shooting 15 months ago. And we have children in Michigan who are living through their second school shooting in under a year and a half. If this is not a wake-up call to do something, I don't know what is. In the meantime, I feel confident that our law enforcement is doing everything that they can to understand the situation. I'm thrilled that federal law enforcement is on scene, bringing their resources to the fight. We're not going to rest until we understand. But I think the fact that we're having this conference so quickly after another mass shooting in our state should be a statement in and of itself. Thanks very much.
Well, on behalf of the community, I'm Mayor Andy Shore.
Mayor Ron Bacon, East Lansing.
City of Lansing. This is the morning that nobody ever wants to have. This is the day that nobody ever wants to be standing up at a lectern. When you get elected, you want to talk about the great things in your community and not this. But here we are. I do want to thank the Lansing residents who stood up. These many tips you've heard about came in from many of our residents, and as a result, the shooter was identified and the threat was neutralized. So we're very proud of our citizens in Lansing. There's going to be so much fear. It's not just the students, it's the community. I've heard from parents and citizens who didn't know what was going on. So I want to share, we have a community mental health resource that is open 24/7. It's a crisis services department, 517-346-8200. And I also want to share in the incredible job that was done by our law enforcement. LPD, ELPD, state police, Ingham County, and of course MSU. This is what they train for, and today and yesterday they were able to show that they are prepared. It's not something you ever want to do when you train, but they were prepared, and they were excellent.
As of today, East Lansing Hannah Center will be available to students in need of resources, and counseling will be available all day. We'll be working with the Department of Health Services today as well to extend other additional things to the community. I just want to say, as Mayor of East Lansing, when I introduce myself, I'm the Mayor of East Lansing, home of Michigan State University. We are indivisible. This Spartan Will thing is real. I want to send out my deepest regrets and remorse to the families that lost children, the fear stricken in the children. At Michigan State, for my children, I'm a dad here in this community, is like a playground for them. It's where you go and have your first experiences and taste of college life and fun and all those types of things. And I'm just shattered today. My heart aches for our community, and it will be present. We'll be here in support. President Woodruff, the entire community of Michigan State University will stand hand in hand, and this is just the beginning. We will find a way forward. I don't want to stand up here and try to communicate that we have the answers at this point, but as Congressperson Slotkin said, we're going to find the answers, and we're going to figure some stuff out here. This has gone far enough. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Denny Martin. I'm the interim president and chief medical officer at Sparrow Hospital, Lansing. I think a lot of very dry mouths up here this morning, so bear with us and appreciate your patience. I can confirm that last evening we cared for 5 individuals who were brought to Sparrow Hospital from East Lansing campus. The team in our level 1 trauma center with our emergency medicine physicians and trauma surgeons were waiting for them upon their arrival. I will give a lot of thanks to the individuals, the first responders on the scene. Our ability to care for these individuals starts in the field, and they did a fantastic job. 4 of those individuals did require surgical intervention to treat their injuries. 1 individual did not and was taken to the critical care unit after being triaged in the emergency department. All 5 individuals remain in critical condition this morning. I want to thank the overwhelming response from our team, everyone in our level 1 trauma center. This is something we talked about this morning that we.
Okay, and we are going to step away from that event. We'll take you back out to it here in just a minute on Live Now from Fox. And thanks again for being with us here as we continue to cover this major story out of East Lansing, Michigan. I'm Lexi Petrovich. What we want to do right now is bring in a Lieutenant Renee Gonzalez, who is with Michigan State Police. Bring him on live here on Live Now from Fox. And Lieutenant Gonzalez, thank you so much for being here. First and foremost, just thinking of you guys and your community, praying for Michigan, the Spartan community. How are you doing at this hour?
I'm doing good, thank you. Along with the other officers and local agencies that assisted, everyone's doing well. We're just doing our job.
And so for viewers who are just joining us, tell us a little bit about your role and what you do, because you do cover Ingham County and you were there last night at the time of this breaking news.
Yes, my job in the first district, I'm the public information officer for the MSP, and what my duties are to cover any large scale operation or an incident such as this shooting that went on. So what I did is I was sent to the scene. We already had numerous officers from other agencies, state, local, county, and city that had went to the scene. We had numerous officers that weren't even requested to came in on their own to help out.
In hearing from Michigan State University Police last night, I believe he had said hundreds of law enforcement officers were there last night, and that includes yourself. So walk us through when you first got that call and where you were at when you got the news that there was a shooter on campus.
I was actually at home at the time. It was about 8:18, from what I remember, is the call coming out that there was an active shooter. Without question, I had some of my guys calling as well, and they wanted to go to the scene. I gave them authorization. I said, yeah, get there. So our guys dispatched. They left from their homes and went right to MSU, along with other agencies. As I said, the state, city, counties, all arrived at the scene, a lot of them without even being requested to the scene.
So how did that work with hundreds of law enforcement members being there and so many hands on deck? How did that work once you arrived there? What were you assigned to do in that moment?
Well, my job specifically is as the public information officer is to find out what's going on. What I do is get out information to the public via Twitter or any other social media that I can. Mainly we have a shooting going on at a certain agent or a certain area. In this case, it was MSU. And we asked the students, faculty, please lock down. And then we tell everyone else that they could just stay away until we get that situation. Other officers that show up on the scene, there's normally an area where everyone may brief, and then they'll send them out in groups on duty. When you're dealing with an active shooter, it's normally, if you know where you're supposed to be, the first few officers that are on scene, they go in and they try to eliminate the threat. And that's what happened here. Moments after that call came in, officers were on scene and they were in there going towards the trouble and looking for the problem.
And it ultimately took a while to find that suspect. Of course, he was on foot for a while, police telling everyone to shelter in place. And Michigan State University, with it being such a large campus, can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges that law enforcement faced during that time that search was ongoing?
A lot of the search that we had a lot of officers walking around the area looking for the shooter. A lot of them were in plain clothes with minimal markings on their uniforms, which makes it difficult dealing with the darkness. So we had numerous calls from 911 or 291 saying that they had seen a person with a rifle. So we had to check every call just to be safe. So that was the issue. And then we also were waiting for video of the ID or what the shooter looked like. And once we got that is when things started falling into place and we knew who we were looking for.
How is the community doing tonight? I'm not sure if you're a father or not, but of course, so many families on edge during the initial news of this, hoping to hear from their loved ones who may have been on campus or close to it. How was the community last night and how are they doing today?
The community is rallying. Last night, I have two daughters that are college age. That impacts me because of the age of these children out there. I know many other officers that their kids go to that school. I have family members that their kids went to that school, or they have friends that have kids at that school. So it affects everybody. The community's rallying. Everyone's kind of helping each other out, encouraging everybody. I know tomorrow night at 6 p.m. in front of Sparty, MSU is holding a vigil for the injured and the deceased. Down the road at the U of M, University of Michigan is holding a vigil as well at 7 p.m. at their diag. So everyone's coming together, trying to take care of each other, and it's really nice to see the community come together like that.
Yeah, and I lived in West Michigan in the Kalamazoo area, saw how close-knit that community was there. Of course, not that far off from East Lansing, especially when there's a tragedy that does occur. What comes next? How does the community begin to recover from such a horrific incident?
It's difficult to tell someone you've got to move on. We don't want them to move on. We want them to deal with this. So there's a lot of counseling going out there. MSU, along with other agencies around the area, are offering grief counseling, mental health counseling, anything that's going to help these people deal with this or help these victims or anybody that's dealing with this to put out how they're feeling and get some help. It's probably the best way to deal with this.
Yeah, and Lieutenant Gonzalez, we really appreciate you coming on here tonight after such a difficult evening and, of course, a long road to recovery and getting back to a normal swing of things following such a tragic event. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us this evening that we may not have talked about already?
Well, just that we felt other agencies, after we had finally taken care of the shooter and got that resolved, is how well the community took care of themselves. The students and the faculty out at MSU did wonderfully. When they locked down, they stayed in place, and that was the best thing to do to let the officers do their job. So we thought the community did great out there as far as with the situation and handling.
And I have to say as well, just seeing how great the law enforcement was, Michigan State Police putting out those tweets and being so transparent with the public, that was so helpful, and with the media to be able to spread the word. It was a really impressive job on their end as well to keep everybody in the public safe.
We had a call, I believe a neighbor saw a subject matching the description of the shooter walking by and called the police, and that's when they had located the subject walking down the street.
Can you recall a time where you've seen so many different agencies come together for a search effort like this in your career?
I've been through many situations. I've seen agencies come together, but not in this number. It was impressive to see the brothers and sisters that I work with, how everybody from different agencies, state, local, federal, city, just come together and get to the scene. It was impressive, and made me proud to be a state trooper or even a police officer.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lieutenant Gonzalez. Thank you for the work that you do and for being on here with us tonight as we continue to follow anything that comes out of this story moving forward. Just such a sad, yet another mass shooting that we are following here on Live Now from Fox. We appreciate you being with us this evening.
Thank you.
And as we continue to follow this major story, we also want to continue hearing from that hospital representative that we heard from a little bit ago. You started to hear from him before we spoke with Lieutenant Gonzalez. So we want to bring you back out to that news conference to recap exactly what else he had to say earlier this morning as we await another update on the condition of those 5 other students who are still in the hospital.
We received a lot of texts that were just, I'm on my way, just within people showing up. Where do you need me? It was a sad but a very proud night for all of us here. So I can't speak to anything about the identity of the individuals, but I'm sure we'll have some time for questions afterwards. But again, everyone is in critical condition at this time, but actively being cared for by our team at Sparrow. So thank you all. I'm on my way. So then people showing up. Where do you need me?
Good morning. My name is Teresa Woodruff, and I serve as the interim president here. And our Spartan hearts are broken. We're grieving, but as a community, we're grieving together. We struggle to comprehend. We lost families, friends, classmates, and our hearts go out to the victims and families of this senseless tragedy. And we offer to each of them the peace that passeth understanding. We continue to think for our medical professionals at Sparrow, and we know that they are taking the best care possible of our students. To our students, we have available to you the support that you need at the Hannah Community Center, as was mentioned by Mayor Bacon. This includes counseling and psychological services, as well as employee assistance programs for our faculty and staff. And we're deeply appreciative to the governor for reaching out directly to President Biden and for the offer of additional mental health services for our community. As a university, we also
kind of smells like a fire. There could have been a small fire too. The fire department was out here, but they left. All right, we're gonna get going because we parked in the loading zone. I think they're opening up the street now. So either the palm tree leaves are just falling everywhere. You see them on the ground there, or there might have been it kind of does smell like a fire. Because you can see the ground is wet right there. It might have been a small fart. See something as a possible citizen. Is there a UPS store that stays open late around here? Dude, I forgot I had this big box. Alright, man. I'll see you guys later, man. We might go live later on tonight. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. 5th Street. 1st Street, Lincoln Boulevard. We gotta run some errands. Either way, I want to end it because I can't even read the chat. I just extended it for no good reason, I guess. I should have just ended it when the scene ended. But I think I'll just chop it off. In YouTube Studio, you can chop off the end and leave it up. Alright, everyone. Thanks for watching. If it's your first time here, subscribe, hit the bell. Either way, we'll be out here next time. And thanks to James B, Terry Sparks, Angela Cart, Wheeler Cart, and Anna Curry. Steph Curry's long lost aunt. Oh, and what's her username? Cashapper and Buffy. Definitely gonna get it. They call them dead cats for your mics. I have a real cheap mic, but it does the job. Even the good mics, they don't. You need to put that sock on it to get rid of the wind. But it's good using just a cheap ass mic because I broke 2 of them. So it makes it a lot easier. It's just about being mobile. For me, it's just about being mobile. You know what I mean? Other people, they feed to the stations, they just post up. Their job is to just get to the scene, get in one place, and then just, you know what I mean? Just stand in one place pretty much is good for them, dude. But I don't think I could do that. Oh, we got a rager? Is this guy going skateboarding or raging out over here? Don't throw that shit at my car. He's trying to break some, I don't know what that was, dude. A cedar? Some type of two-wheeled garden contraption. Almost looked like a dolly. There's someone's wearing the Beetlejuice pantsuit. Pull up to the valet. They say we ain't got no valet. The ivy at the shore. But I can't even remember the last time I valet parked my car. Valet parked my car. Years ago, 15 years ago. It's a long time ago. Alright, we're gonna see what this ambulance is about. Then the stream will end, dude. So say your goodbyes and your sweet nothings, man. Activity early on, huh? I'm never really out this early, dude. The traffic is so bad. It's hard to get to places, bro. Like, if there's something happening mid-city, dude, it's an hour. Some type of medical emergency thing. Alright, man. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. AXN News signing out. I'll catch you guys probably later on tonight. After 10. We go out, it's probably after 10.
That's an unknown right now, and that's what we're trying to understand is why this incident occurred. I know everybody wants to know what the motive is. We don't have an answer right now, and that's the honest truth.
Was anything found inside of his home that might help with that?
I can't comment on what was located in the residence as part of that search warrant, but that is part of the ongoing investigation. Right there.
Last week, several schools in Okemos and other schools across the state were shut down for an active shooting, which was determined to be a hoax. Have you determined if there's any connection to that at this point?
So I won't get into that in detail. Obviously, we're looking at the possibility of any connection. What I will say is there doesn't appear to be initially, but those are the type of things that our state and federal partners are really going to look at. But initially, it does not appear that there's any connection. In the back right there. Blue, Channel 7.
I understand that police made contact with the suspect before he shot himself. Can you explain what that contact was and what was the time frame?
So I don't have any additional information on the sequence of events when law enforcement contacted the suspect. There was a tip called in from an alert citizen that reported the suspect. That call was dispatched to resources that we had deployed in the field. We had so many police officers on campus. As part of our unified command structure, we started deploying resources off campus in order to respond to reports just like this. And the responding officers encountered the suspect, and I can't comment more on that actual interaction. That is being investigated by the Michigan State Police right now. Right there.
Does Mr. McCray live in this community first, and then us with the medical personnel here? Can you tell us anything more about the extent of the injuries on the upper side?
I'll start with that, and I'll turn it over to the doc. We're still working to ascertain place of residence for the suspect. As we have said all along, we want to make sure any information that we share is accurate, and we are still working to determine place of hometown and residence for the suspect.
Yeah. There wasn't a consistent injury pattern with the individuals that were brought to the hospital, but the initial reports last evening that the injuries were life-threatening was correct. But there wasn't a consistent nature. It was a variety of injuries associated with the gunshots that came in.
Chief,
Go ahead.
Were there any other weapons recovered on the suspect or around the suspect after he took his own life, and weapons and or ammunition?
So again, I can't comment on that specifically. That will be part of the investigation. That scene that occurred is being investigated by the Michigan State Police, and I can't comment on what evidence was recovered at that specific scene.
But you did say that you recovered one weapon.
We do have at least one weapon, yes.
Used in the incident on campus?
That's part of the investigation, and we'll work to determine that.
We'll take one more question.
I had, if I may, I had.
We'll go two. We'll come back to
that. In regard to the timing of the tip, roughly you came out at around 11 o'clock shortly thereafter with the first news briefing and released the picture. Suspect was encountered before midnight, so this tip came within minutes of you guys releasing this photo, or can you clarify?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. As soon as during this incident, when it was ongoing, and you can imagine the number of moving pieces, we had MSU Police and Public Safety investigators reviewing surveillance footage, and they quickly determined that we had a picture of the suspect, and we quickly disseminated that publicly. And you are correct, it was shortly after we released it that he was recognized by an alert citizen. And so the time frame was pretty quick after we released it. So we commend the community and the citizen that called that in, and that was exactly what we were trying to achieve by releasing that picture, was to generate immediate tips for this person that was mobile, that we had no idea where he was at that point.
And if I may, did any of the victims or anybody that might have been in proximity say if the suspect said anything or just came in shooting, or can you clarify at all how it transpired?
So that'll be part of the investigation in terms of what the suspect did or said. There are numerous witnesses that we have interviewed, and we will start to put those pieces together and see but I don't have that information right now in terms of if the suspect said anything when he committed these heinous crimes. In the back, that's left.
How long will resources be provided to students on top of, will there be any extensions on school delays and school activities?
We will provide the resources the students need for the time period they need, and again, we thank the federal government for their response. We will be in modified operations for the next 2 days, and then we will move into a period where classes will be canceled until Monday morning, but campus operations will resume.
Can you ask the medical staff one other question?
One more.
We understand that the patients are still in critical condition. Can you tell us what their prognosis is for recovery?
It's still very early on. This is injuries occurred just over 12 hours ago, so their conditions are evolving. Again, I'll say that they're all absolutely in a critical condition, but there's varying degrees of that. But I think it's just too early. It's too early on in their course to give any kind of prognosis at this point. So. No, not at this time. We can't identify anyone. Yep.
So, appreciate everybody coming this morning. We are going to continue to share information. That concludes this briefing.
Okay, so that was the most recent update from Michigan State Police, as well as a representative from the hospital, as we continue to monitor the conditions of those 5 other students who were shot. So still waiting to hear on that. And as police said there, it's still no understanding of what the motive was here for this suspect. They believe really had no affiliation with Michigan State University. We are going to take another break here on Live Now from Fox. We still have a lot more to get to. Stick with us here. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Lexi Petrovich. We just brought you that latest news conference from Michigan State Police from earlier this morning. Well, all schools in New Jersey were closed today as well, out of, quote, an abundance of caution due to a security threat that they say was also connected to that mass shooting at Michigan State. Police in Ewing, which is located in Mercer County, New Jersey, say that the shooter, who is identified as 43-year-old Anthony McRae, had local ties to Ewing Township. Officials say at the time of his death, by suicide from that self-inflicted gunshot wound in Michigan. McCrae had a note in his pocket that indicated that there was a threat against Ewing Public Schools. Let's bring you the latest from Fox 29's Hank Flynn.
6 o'clock in the morning, so we didn't have much time to waste.
Ewing Police Chief Al Rhodes says there wasn't much warning. Michigan law enforcement contacted him through New Jersey State Police at dawn. The urgent message: Anthony McCrae, the alleged Michigan State shooter, was dead by his own hand, they told him, but found in his pocket. Police say was a threat to 2 Ewing schools. Rhodes immediately scrambled patrols and called the superintendent.
We made communication with him immediately this morning, developed a plan to shut down the schools and notify the parents. And then as things have evolved throughout the day, we've tried to keep them informed as quick as we are with the things we can release to put them at ease a little bit.
What's the bottom line here?
Well, the bottom line is, if you see something, say something.
Ewing family stumbled on the surprise day of no school, especially considering the reasons given: a strange threat with few details.
I was happy because I didn't have to go to school because I could just rest at home. But when I heard that there was a shooting, I was kind of scared at the same time.
And then she texted me that today was a shooting at school, and we were like, what? She said yes. And then I was trying to watch the news or trying to find out more what was going on with it.
By late morning, Ewing police were able to put word out that any threat here had more than likely died with McCrae in Michigan, but his local ties are very real.
I can just say that the shooter had local ties, that he was a previous resident, it appears, of Ewing Township, and may have suffered some mental illness, but he hadn't been, our investigation revealed at this time, after the schools had been closed, that he hadn't been in Ewing Township for over 5 or 6 years.
Just always so tragic to cover another mass shooting and then hearing the news that this potentially could have been tied to it. So scary for all of the children and families involved. And speaking of other mass shootings, Club Q announcing today that it will reopen in the fall, looking to rebuild after a mass shooting there killed 5 people at the Colorado Springs venue back in November. The LGBTQ club says it's enhancing security measures and creating a special permanent tribute to the 5 victims of the shooting, among other renovations. Club Q is also bringing on board 2 victims of the shooting and will hire on more to work on community relations and rebuilding efforts there. The club has been closed down since the tragedy, and donors have pitched in over $50,000 to cover lost wages. The club will distribute some of those wages to former employees and contractors this week. Club Q's founding owner says, quote, "We look forward to being able to gather as one community again." And it has been 5 years since the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. And as the nation reflects on that tragedy in the wake of so many other recent mass shootings, some of the families of those who were killed are sharing how they are keeping the memories of their children alive. Fox News' Ted Lindner reports.
Tuesday marks 5 years since a gunman opened fire at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, killing 14 students and 3 staff. The gunman revealing he wanted to attack on Valentine's Day in order to ruin the holiday forever. But as the nation commemorates the painful loss of life, the families of those who were killed are proving their love can't be crushed.
We miss Gina constantly. Her laugh, her interaction with us, her hugs.
Tony Montalto's daughter Gina was just 14 when she was killed. While she was alive, Gina's family says she had interests in being a veterinarian or designing attractions for Disney World when she got older.
It's just about helping to keep Gina's light shining.
Since her death, Gina's family has been mourning her loss, but keeping her memory alive by helping college students accomplish their dreams through the Gina Rose Montalto Memorial Foundation.
The best we could hope for is to find a way to work around the pain in our hearts. As the commemoration comes around this time of year, the rest of the world feels it more, but we still feel the same that we do every day.
The family of Joaquin Oliver is also honoring their son through their project Change the Ref Foundation.
We lost our son, and there is no money that will ever be as in any way equal to that pain and suffering.
Manuel and Patricia Oliver started the foundation to promote gun reform and challenge gun lobbyists who try and influence politicians. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Another horrific event from Parkland, Florida. Again today, 5 years since that day that a gunman killed 14 students and 3 staff members at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. We want to take you out now to where there was a memorial held earlier today to remember and honor those lives lost in that tragedy.
With time, for the families today, there is an indescribable grief that grows with each passing day. It does not follow the normal course of grieving. We are all here today because we all wish we could ease their pain, even if just for a moment. Any words we can think of are simply not enough. So other than a hug, is there anything else we could possibly do? With time, the answer is yes. For the families today, what we can do is all of this coming together as a community on this day that is about love, to share our love, our strength, and a very clear message to the families that we have not forgotten those who were taken. This is known as communal grief and healing. Communal grief is not a new concept. It has been practiced for centuries. It refers to the experience of belonging to and sharing your pain with a group of people who are also grieving. Communal grieving also offers us something we cannot get when we grieve by ourselves. Through acknowledgement, validation, and witnessing, communal grief allows us to experience feelings of heartache and pain that are deep and profound, and also momentary glimpses of hope as we take our first steps towards healing. And even if you did not personally know anyone that was killed on 2/14, is it still normal for you to be grieving 5 years later? The answer is also yes. To begin the process of healing, communal grief requires skilled and professional trauma support and access to the world of wellness for years after the event, and maybe even forever. Eagles Haven is committed to this day, to this commemoration every year, and to be here forever. To the families, we promise you that this will happen. In a few moments, we will remember our loved ones with a candle lighting ceremony and a 17-dove release. At Eagles Haven, every single day, every single minute, all the work we do here, every crisis session, every wellness activity, and every family meeting is done in honor of the 17 precious lives whom we all miss so deeply. It is hard, but it is healthy for us to gather here together, to grieve together, and begin a lifelong difficult journey of healing together. Gathering collectively to grieve publicly and even to cry publicly helps us to become stronger as a community and makes us feel stronger inside. To the families of those who were taken, we pray that you feel the love today as you are surrounded by your community who stand united with you today. We also send our love and prayers to the families of the 3 students who were killed last night at Michigan State University, and we pray for the recovery of the 5 students who were critically injured. Eagles Haven will be reaching out to the school today to offer our support, as we do after every mass shooting. At this time, we will begin the candle lighting ceremony in loving memory of the 17 precious lives who were taken on 2/14, 5 years ago. Honored with the reading of the names and representing the Florida legislature is a very good friend of Eagles Haven and this community, Representative Christine Hunchofsky, the former Parkland mayor, out to the school today to offer our support. Assisting her with the candle lighting are Eagles Haven Director Rebecca Harkeen and Assistant Director Melissa Michelin. I would ask now that all of the family members of the 17 precious lives taken who are here today to please come up and stand beside the candle bearing the name of your loved one. Melissa and Rebecca will help guide you. Representative Christine Huchowski, the former Parkland mayor. Also assisting us in this ceremony is a member of 5 groups of professionals in our community who have gathered here today to show their support to the families.
Damn it. Copyright music? I don't understand how he got banned for copyright music. I play music all the time. The only thing I ever get is a copyright notice that my stream's not eligible for to be monetized on YouTube. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, the last thing I saw was him at the race.
Were you able to reach DRP or the victim?
So, bro, he got banned for live streaming a race?
We're attempting to reach the
What the fuck? Damn, I'm surprised I didn't get banned for live streaming the Snoop Dogg concert.
4 Central, correction, 4 North, 2. If you can check your location just to confirm you didn't go back there to the summer. Copy, I'm 1097 now.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't get banned at the Snoop Dogg concert. That video got me like 20,000 views on the YouTube.
What type of vehicle the victim was driving? A blue Ford Escape.
Hold on, bro. I think that they were playing music. Fuck, dude.
Top 10, stand by.
Yeah. Man.
Denison on 7 tag 24847.
They were playing music at the track in between wrecks. That's crazy. They were playing music. I never had an issue, bro. I never had an issue with playing music at all. Hold on, guys. We're going to go back because I seen a cop pull into the parking lot. And I'm wondering if he's going to make these vendors shut down.
I'll be tonight.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to make the vendor have to kick rocks. And no.
Here's the 4 UTL on that vehicle. Not being flagged down by anybody. 10-4.
Okay, hold up. What do we got? Nah. So, so BPD pulled in right here, but I don't think that, he said so far UTL on a vehicle and nobody's flagging him down.
Metro 3. Back towards the Texas Welfare 2101, correction 2101 Bridge Road, possible suicidal subject, a male Hector Ruiz, his neck belt, silver chain, wearing a green long sleeve shirt and Levi's, currently in the front door, told DRP wants her to make him bleed.
Kentucky and Far.
4 Metro 4.
Far. Yeah, we got a vehicle fire.
They pickup truck on fire.
We had a pickup truck on fire 11 minutes out. We are not going to even attempt.
10-4. myself and one car will be en route.
He's advising he's at Ming and Real at the 7-Eleven. I'll have him make himself known to the officers there.
Unit, you're covering Fort Hill 310.
310
myself and one car will be en route to Ridge.
However, while we're in contact with the victim, he's advising he's back at the store at Ming and Real. He'll make himself known to the officers there.
Hey, we got something cracking right here, guys.
Force Control 1, we're in contact with the victim.
Copy, in contact with the victim.
They're in contact with the victim.
This one, I'll be around to 7-Eleven.
Alright, so we got some shit cracking right here, guys. We're chilling.
771 on a Chevy.
So yeah, guys, this area is gonna be active.
Fort North Chevy, copy your traffic. Fort Northbound on showing route to the 7-Eleven.
It's gonna be active because they got a lot of vendors and a lot of money and a lot of nice merchandise around. So this area is gonna have potential.
Fort North 2 is gonna be no stop. Expired 93 Nissan.
For the bums. To steal shit.
Tom, Paul Union 771 returns to an 18 Chevy local.
Returns to 1310 Stockton.
What the fuck is this? Oh, Chinese buffet. I was like, why the fuck is it so long? The line. Damn, everywhere is packed out. I got 6:55. 6:55.
Attention 53, medical aid.
Cool.
Found a shell near Taco Bell, 9741 South Enos Lane.
Oh my fucking god.
For the possible patient contact with the hazmat material. Officer Rescue 1098. Right, turn around, 77.
Yeah, apparently the suspect, the victim's right here, guys, and the cops are talking with them. Yeah, the cops are trying to figure this shit out. Dude, that cop is fucking young. How old do you think this cop is, guys? 21, 22?
ID only.
Dude, if some people knew that they were on camera and hundreds of people were watching, they would be pissed of.
Tom 7 route to 1B.
Come on, girl, don't. Let me turn the camera up.
Tom 2, copy. It will be during a block of Weibel.
Hold on, 300 block of Weibel.
Tom 4, not so long.
We're route to a 1T, guys.
Tom 4, copy.
We're route to a crash. All right, 300 block of Weibel. 300 Weibel. Weibel. 4 minutes out. 4 minutes out. Let's go, let's go, let's. Oh shit! It's a rollover crash, guys. Fuck! I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a like a regular ass crash. It's showing that it's a trying to get Roger's attention, but he's not listening. Well, I tried to get Roger to fucking follow me, but he's in his zone right now, recording this situation.
Vehicle 8229.
Yeah, I was sticking my arm out the window trying to flag him down, like, hey, let's go, let's go. But yeah, we're three out.
Hazardous condition 8412 Center Harbor Drive.
We're 3 minutes out, guys.
Gas stove that was left on.
3 minutes out, let's go.
Circle 450 verbal at 920 across Berkeley. The guy with the RP sounds on Robert Meisfus.
I don't know, which way should I go?
Red shirt and blue jeans. Possibly HPD and 242.
Alright, we might have to get out and walk.
Family members. 920 Jeffrey.
We might have to get out and walk. Yo, what's up, Jacob? Hey, everybody, do me a favor. Go subscribe to Jacob. Dad's Gone Live. He's the OG of Bakersfield. He's been live streaming since day one. Check him out. Check him out. What's up, Jacob? Yeah, guys, for those of you that don't know, Jacob has been the first live streamer to ever go live here in Bakersfield. Check him out, guys. Yeah. Anytime Breeze, Alex deserves it. What do I deserve? What are you talking about? He's the first live streamer. He created live streaming. Is that Roger behind me? It is Roger. What's up?
Medical aid 3214 State Road, unit number 6, participant.
We're about to a crash, guys. No, my freak. Big line. Where's Roger gone? We're gonna have to park.
Tom 10 could be involved in a white Ford Expedition.
All right, guys, it looks like we got a mission. All right. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Testing, is the audio back? Is the audio back? It came out as an expanded rollover. All right, they are flagging.
Hold on, guys, we're almost there. We're almost there, guys. All right, guys, we're gonna go a little closer. Yeah, we're gonna get a closer shot. All right, guys, we're gonna go a little closer. Fire truck trying to get in over here. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all, guys. Looks like everybody is out of the vehicle. Doesn't look bad at all, guys. How you doing, boss? Yeah. Welcome to tonight's stream, guys, of Valentine's and Violence Day. Hope you guys are having a good evening. Please smash that thumbs up or get the fuck out of the channel. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like it's minor injuries, guys. Not really a big scene. It looks like it's only 2 vehicles involved. Doesn't look too crazy. We all seen worse. This is right here on northbound Weibel. This is behind the scenes. Behind the scene. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all, man. Okay, it's a 3-vehicle TC. That explains it. Very solid hit, guys. A solid hit. Yeah, it looks more serious than I thought. I thought it was minor injuries, guys. Looks like it's more than minor. They do have 2 people loaded up in the back of here, guys, on beds. This is the first time I've seen 2 people loaded up at once. Are you guys going by? How you doing, man?
Thank you, guys.
That's the issue for right now. Yeah.
So I guess I'm patient.
Alright guys, I'm gonna go check out my car. Yeah, I'm getting out of the road.
Okay, yeah, I just don't want you to be.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, man. Getting hit? How am I gonna get hit? Traffic's at a standstill. I don't understand. All right, guys, we're gonna go back to my car, man.
What happened?
Just car crash. Yeah, they're gonna clear it out like in here in the next 30 minutes. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. What do you think, guys? We're gonna go to my car, and then we're gonna make our way back around, and I'll shoot more of the scene. The scene's not over yet. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I'm just gonna check on my car. It's sketchy right here in this area, dude. All right, guys, we got another crash. I'm gonna check right now and see if it's close. Yeah, it's a car crash. Huh? I don't know who's who, but they transported 2 people. I don't know. It doesn't look bad. So I don't know. She said her brother-in-law just got into that wreck. All right, guys. So, damn, dude. Hold on, guys. Hold up, guys. Let me get situated, and we're We're gonna get out of here and go to, we're gonna go check out this other crash. If this crash is, if the other crash is close by, we're gonna go to that one. If it's not close by, so.
Control 2, Met 19, log off.
Traffic not expanded. What's up, Jacob? Alright, guys, so yeah, bro, looks like we're stuck in traffic.
Patrol vehicles, they were off-roading at the time of the accident.
It looks like we're stuck in traffic right now. Yeah. You know how we do it. Man, we ain't staying in traffic. We ain't staying stuck in nothing. I'm rolling along just with these guys. If they're gonna do it, why can't I?
This will be an off-road rescue. With the call change, it'll request engine 12 and engine 14 to bring their patrols, as well as helicopter 407 to be on hoist standby. Emergency 14 did advise they were unable to launch due to weather local. That copy. Did you get home?
Yeah, dude, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back around and shoot footage of the other side. We're gonna go back around and get some footage of the other side, and we're not leaving just yet.
Patrol 12, copy. You're responding under current 5. Patrol 12, Patrol 14. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back around and shoot footage of the other side. We're gonna go back around and get some footage of the other side. Come on, buddy. Come on, homie, go. Fucking drive. Like even the pizza guy's trying to get places. It's like fuck. All right, guys. We're gonna go around and shoot the other side of the scene.
Question helicopter 407. Standby hoist request. And 14th first in the area near the windmill. Eastern 58 off the roadway. We've been off-road rescue. We'll be on contact.
Come on, buddy.
We're landline with the RPA at this time, advising they will meet at Corona Avenue to guide in. They'll be in an ATV, white in color. That's not being confirming this turned out to be a vehicle accident, but then possible RP's mother was not doing well, and then turned into off-road rescue. Is that correct? Affirmative. This was an off-road accident. The patient's currently unconscious.
Oh, man. The patient's currently unconscious. Unconscious, guys. It's far, 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 dude.
Patrol 14 confirming RP is going to meet us on Corona Avenue. Affirmative.
So far.
They have an address on Corona Avenue.
Nah, it's showing I'm 20 minutes out.
Oak Creek. Negative. Corona's off of Arroyo.
They're trying to get to a patient right now that was involved in a off-road vehicle accident, and the patient's unconscious, and medical's trying to get access to the location, and talking about the RP is going to meet them at a certain street to direct them to the person.
Outside the roadway near the building.
And
Right there on that
it just sounds terrible all the way around. Oh wow, would you look at that? We can't even go. Bro, this might be major. They got this side of the roadway shut down. This might be some serious injuries, guys. Fuck. Can't even go in. Yeah, it looks more serious than what it is. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Patrol 14. Patrol 14. We'll clear Corona. There's nobody on a white quad matching that description.
Fuck, man.
We'll recontact standby.
Yeah, it might be way worse than what it looks, dude. I thought it was like nothing. Yeah, it looks bad, huh?
Engine 61. Medical aid 5414 Rockwell Drive.
Yeah, they got both sides. Both sides of traffic shut down, so. What the fuck? We got the big. We got a fire truck behind us. How much is it? 7. Hey, bro, look at this guy. That's live. Hey, there's this one live streamer that goes live, and the title is like, the title says record a cop, save a life. I was fucking laughing, bro, when I first seen that. I was like, wow, this guy's fucking hilarious, bro. The title said, record a cop, save a life. Yeah, I think he's like an auditor or something. First Amendment auditor. And, yeah, dude, fucking, I was like, that's some funny ass shit, bro. What up, what up? Look at those clouds, guys. Can you guys see these clouds coming in?
Medical aid at 2348 Driftwood Drive. Or an allergic reaction.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to have some rain coming over. Bro, I think this is more serious than I thought, guys. Yeah, I think this is more serious than what we think it is, guys. Damn.
We're in contact with code 4.
402. Copy and contact.
Does anybody know? Does anybody know how serious this is? Like the injuries? The extent of injuries? Does anybody know?
Here right now with the heavy winds. what's your guys' date on that? 7 time 147. Let's check the weather real quick.
Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Does anybody know how serious this is, guys?
Control North 510. They're off to the 240 in Domino.
10-4.
What's your guys' date on that? 7 time 147. Access is still off Royal.
Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Royal and Figueroa. Does anybody know how serious this is? Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna go back to my original parking spot.
Kodak Road, back up.
And
Buffalo B code 6-1301.
shoot the scene from right here. I'm gonna go back to my original parking spot and shoot the scene from right here, man.
13, 18, 10, 22 for the around company.
13 copy.
These fools look like they're involved. Hey, do you know how bad this crash was?
It's bad. All that traffic, you had to go that way.
Got it, thank you. Yeah, I thought they were one of the ones involved down there. And it's showing that they're obviously they're not involved, but yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm just gonna get in my original spot and shoot the scene. Shoot the scene, you know what I mean? All right, cool. Perfect. This is perfect right here, guys. All right, we're gonna get more shots of this scene. I think this might be the story of the night. It looks pretty serious. I need a couple more shots before we do roll out. And yeah, so hold on, guys. I'm gonna connect up, guys, to my big camera. And I need to grab a couple more shots on my tripod, and then we'll get out of here and go to look for something else. Is this serious?
I can't say.
Got it. All right, cool. Let's get this shot right here. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Hey, bro. Okay, guys, I just got some word. It's not too much information, but basically they're not picking up vehicles right now. Yeah, the vehicles can't be picked up right now because it's major injuries. Yeah, keep this family in your positive thoughts, guys. How you doing, sir? All right. Yeah, probably, man. Probably. Who knows, man? Once again, guys, this is right here on Weibel Road for a 3-vehicle TC. Came out as an expanded traffic collision, and they do have north and southbound lanes shut down. Traffic is being diverted between Stockdale and Bill Terrace. Traffic's being diverted in both directions. And so you're gonna have to detour. If you're looking to go on Weibel Road, you're gonna have to detour around, take the back streets to bypass this scene, this area. What's up, buddy? How you doing? All right. Oh, that's a crash. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah. Yep. Hey, you be safe, man. Bro, that's gonna be my thumbnail. I'm gonna get him, the crash, Valentine's Day, major injury car crash. Hopefully it's not a fatality, man. Deadly Valentine's Day. Hopefully it's not, man. So yeah, one of the tow trucks that arrived on scene said that they were leaving. That it's major injuries, and that if it's a fatality, they can't haul the car because they don't do fatalities. So I'm thinking what's going on, guys. If I had to guess, what's going on is the scene is pretty much at a standstill. The scene's pretty much at a standstill until they can confirm at the hospital that this person's the status of his injury, how severe his injuries are at the hospital. So right now the scene's froze right now until they confirm from the hospital how severe everything is. Yeah, that's why so if I had to guess, I don't know. Yeah, they do. They do, man.
Be in route down here.